Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. Before we get into the video, Happy New Year, Happy 2024. I hope you all had a phenomenal holiday season. My last video around Christmas was gratitude and appreciation and taking time to really thank all of you for following, for watching, for reaching out, commenting, all of those things. This video, we're gonna talk about 2023 stats, market updates, kind of what happened in real estate at the lake and maybe what's to be expected potentially moving forward into 2024. But man, before we get going, I just again have to show a little bit of love, gratitude, and appreciation for everybody who watches this channel, who comments, who reaches out, who likes, subscribes, all of those things. I am forever grateful for 2023. And this is that time of year where you stop, you reflect, you think about, hey, what did I accomplish in 23, good and bad? Hey, what do I want to change in 24? New Year's resolutions, goal planning, all of that stuff. And I do all of that too, but in the business aspect is one component, obviously life and family is another. And man, this fourth quarter is our family's favorite quarter, right? You kind of come out of the summer months and you get a change of season, right? So in October, the weather's changed, the leaves have changed colors, you get into all the pumpkin patches and you have fun that way. And obviously you have Halloween. Then you move into Thanksgiving. After Thanksgiving, you get right into Christmas mode and decorate the house and put up the lights. And man, after Christmas, then you get into a New Year's kind of celebration to cap it all off. And in history and past, we've always been sick in the fourth quarter. Whatever it is, kids, crud, school, you know how it goes. We've always been sick, and this year we weren't. So we were super healthy, and we enjoyed every minute of it. And I don't know, when you have a 3 and a 5-year-old and you get to celebrate Christmas and go through traditions and they still believe, and man, super cool. So we had a phenomenal fourth quarter. From a family component perspective, we had a lot of fun. I hope all of you did too. And then obviously we just rang in the new year. We watched the ball drop live in New York, which was really 10 o'clock our time. And then 10:05 we were in bed. And that's just kind of how we roll. So I hope you all had a phenomenal holiday season. I hope you're ready for 2024. This video, we just wanted to talk a little bit about some stats and kind of, hey, what did real estate look like in 23? What were some of the impacts of maybe inflation and higher interest rates? Hey, what does that look like moving forward? And so we're going to put up some stats. We're going to talk through that. And then obviously we'll be here to help answer any other questions you might have outside of this. So the first stat we want to look at is single family homes, townhomes, lakefront properties, and total transactions. So I have some stats here. In 2022, there was 619 transactions with lakefront properties. And in 2023, there was 506. So that's about an 18% decrease year over year, right? So every single family home and townhouse, again, transaction wise, we're seeing a decrease kind of year over year. And a lot of this stuff is probably conducive to inflation and higher interest rates. And that's typically what happens, right? If rates are going up and the cost to borrow funds is higher, then if people get a little bit more hesitant, they're a little bit more standoffish, they're gonna wait a little bit. And that's kind of what we saw here at the lake. Now, your average sales price though was $730,000, which was up from $680,000 in 2022. So, hey, what does that look like from a investment standpoint? Right? So yeah, transactions are down a little bit. People are a little bit more cautious, maybe a little bit more hesitant, maybe thinking a little bit more than we were in the past when rates dropped to 2s and 3s. So cool. However, the price point of a home increased. So from an investment standpoint, from a real estate perspective, that's a good number, right? That's a good thing to see, right? As property values still going up, even though transactions are going down a little bit. So still a very smart investment, whether it's a, single family home, owner-occupied property, maybe a vacation home, maybe some type of investment property. Transactions down on those waterfront homes, but the value of those properties continue to go up. We took a look at some off-lake options too, and so in 2022, there was 963 transactions off lake, right? So second tier homes, properties in town, properties surrounding the lake, 963 transactions. In 2023, there was 678 off lake transactions. So that's down 30% year over year. And that's a bigger number, right? So that's just kind of showing that there's still peaks in interest for lakefront homes, but maybe those off-lake properties, and that could be conducive to, people that live here locally off-lake. Maybe they don't want to make that move, right? They're not looking to sell and buy. And again, it comes from inflation and higher interest rates. If I live off-lake and I'm living in my home in Camdenton and maybe I want to move up to Osage, cool, but I'm sitting on a 2.99 interest rate, and then if I make a move, now I'm going to be sitting on a 6, 7, 8, depending on what rates were like last year. And so people are going to be more hesitant to sell their owner-occupied homes if they live here locally and make a move, and they're going to probably again wait until kind of rates come down. So a 30% decrease year over year. However, the average price point of home went up about $25,000. So same concept, right? Lakefront homes, off-lake homes, transactions are down a little bit. However, the value of homes continue to go in the right direction. So it's still a smart investment, even though transactions are down. And I would imagine as 2024 comes, and we'll talk about that, as soon as interest rates start to level off, come down, be more reasonable, you'll start to see those transactions kind of get more in line year over year. But ultimately, we still want to see property values going in the same direction. The other stat that I wanted to look at was very specific to condos. And condos year over year, the reason I bring this up is we have a lot of conversations with folks that are potentially in those retirement stages. And when retiring, you maybe want to come down, buy a property with less maintenance. You want to enjoy life. And so condos are a big hit around here. There's also that group that wants to do some investments at the lake, and condos are a great way to make a smart investment, turn that property into a short-term rental, and have, again, less maintenance and things to worry about when it comes to the upkeep of that property. And so, hey, very specific to condos, lakefront on the property, there were 615 transactions in 2022. There was 599 transactions in 2023. So not that big of a difference. That's only down about 3%. So I feel like that's a wash. The other wash was property values on those condos were pretty much identical or close to it, enough to call it a wash. So the condominium game here continues through last year to really not decrease, right? That still seemed to be a popular avenue for, either an owner-occupied purchase, vacation property purchase, or an investment purchase. Those transactions seem to kind of washed themselves out and really didn't decrease too much. And those property values kind of held strong too, because what you saw a lot last year was sellers needing to sell their homes, and because there was less buyers interested, they would ultimately give credits or concessions to entice that buyer to come buy the home. And we would use those credits and concessions to help our buyers buy down their interest rate to make it more affordable. And so as you look at maybe what that transition and shift will look like, eventually when those rates start to come back down and you have more buyers, then the sellers are going to be less likely to give those credits. And so we want to think a little bit about, hey, what does 2024 look like? And if any mortgage person tells you and predicts to you what the future of interest rates are, you should have a red alarm on, right? Because none of us can. And if we could, we would all make more money, right? But ultimately, you have to feel optimistic that at some point interest rates are going to start to come back down. I do feel like we've already hit our peak of inflation. I do feel like our CPI numbers are coming down. There's a lot of economic indicators that are pointing in that right direction. But what we know is that interest rates typically go up fast and they come down slow. Like, we have to slowly reduce the interest rates. You can't just drop them overnight. And we did drop them overnight during the pandemic, and we start to basically print money at that point. And that's why we got ourselves into this problem in the first place. And so regardless of all that behind the scenes stuff, optimistically in 2024, moving into 2025, we should slowly start to see the reduction of those interest rates. And so there'll be a turning point at some point where we'll move away from a heavy buyer's market. We might kind of get back to normalization. So it might not go heavy seller's market, but gosh, it'd be nice to just be normal, right? Just normal for a little bit. You list your house, it takes you maybe 30 days to sell it. You don't have to give up a bunch of credit. As a buyer, there's not a ton of competition out there to fight, scratch, and claw against. And so hopefully we find ourselves in some type of normalization. I think towards the end of 2024, maybe summertime 24, as we move into the end of the year and into 2025, we'll probably see that. But we should be heading in that direction for some type of normalization and decrease in interest rates. So I guess we'll just see what 2024 and the future brings. But when we look at 23 and some of those year over year numbers, we talked a little bit about those lakefront kind of single family homes, your off lake properties. We talked about condos on the lake as well. But a giant overview of the entire area. We had 2,916 transactions in 2022, 2,357 transactions in 2023. And so that was a 19% year over year reduction. But again, the price point of home in total increased. And so, yep, not to beat a dead horse, but to recap it one more time, right? Transactions are down because interest rates are higher. And that makes the consumer just a little bit more cautious on the investment or borrowing of that money, especially from an investment standpoint or a second home standpoint. Those are going to be the least favorable terms on an interest rate. Owner-occupied homes, I don't know, we're still doing some really great things with interest rates, and we're leveraging the sellers to help buy those down a little bit. So there's definitely opportunity there, but we figured we would see a decrease in transactions. However, it's very healthy to see the increase in purchase prices or in home values, right? That's heading in the right direction, which means this area is still a great area for current and future investments. So again, hey, I hope everybody had a great 2023. I am optimistically hopeful for 2024 and the years moving forward. And again, I am super grateful and thankful to all of the subscribers who watch the channel. Please help me continue to like the videos, continue to make comments. By doing that, it allows the channel to reach more people. And so a heartfelt gratitude and appreciation from me and my family for all of you who watch. I genuinely love your comments. I love you reaching out, shooting me texts, leaving me voicemails. Like, I love making the connection. I love making these videos, but like I always say, I love more to help you with your lending or real estate needs in the Ozarks. And so if there's anything that I can do for you right now today, or if you think you want to do something in the future, please don't hesitate. Shoot me a call, text me, email me, jump on my Calendly link. I'd love to do a Zoom call with you. I'd love to help you with whatever the future could look like as well. If that's a spring, summertime, next year home, cool. We want to make sure that we give you enough updates along the way. We get you set up on a home search so you can see everything that's available while you're kind of going through the process. And so, hey, if there's anything that I can do, reach out, let me know. I hope you all have a great 2024, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.